Hi everyone, I've got another really beautiful checkmate in 2 problem here. This one coming from Leonid Kubbel, who was a very famous endgame composer, problemist, puzzler, whatever you want to call him, but truly one of the greats of endgame compositions. And well, this particular puzzle is no exception. It is truly beautiful. So it's white to move. Checkmate in 2. See if you can solve it. If you wish to pause the video, by all means do so now. I'll talk a little bit about the puzzle then, and then I'll have the solution. So if you want to just skip straight to the solution, don't really care what I talk about, it's up to you. The timestamp will be there, and yeah, see if you can solve it. So I'll allow you to pause it now, and then I'll go into the problem itself. Okay, so this one is truly spectacular, and I've got to say, when I found this, when the solution was shown to me, I say I found the solution. Of course, I didn't find the solution. This one is hard. I was just blown away by the reason why this is the best move. So there's a few problems here for white, but I guess the first thing to note about this position is this black king. This black king has got nowhere it can go to. This pawn dominates these 2 squares. This knight dominates these 2 squares as well as the queen as well. The bishop is protected by the queen, and of course the queen then dominates these squares. So everywhere around the king there's nowhere he can go. So in theory all we need to do is try and find a move that delivers checkmate, right? So this seems pretty straightforward. Why don't I just push this pawn to d4? But you'll notice the computer will allow me to do it because it's an illegal move. This pawn is pinned by this bishop. And this was, I guess, one of the main problems that I had with this particular problem. I was like, how do I just get this pawn to move forward? Because this bishop is always here. And my first thought was, okay, well, can't I just move the king out the way? Maybe move it to f6. Surely then this is just a simple, I'm going to play this move next and win the game. And you know, you'd be right. If let's say this bishop took on d3, yeah, it's an easy checkmate in 2. However, you know, black's going to have to come up with something a bit more stingy in defending, and well, black has got this move which I just thought was amazing. Bishop to c2. Just a simple waiting move, and now after pawn moves, well, bishop can just jump in the way. I just thought that was really cool. So yes, you get checkmate in 3, but it's not checkmate in 2, and the true beauty in these compositions is you've got to find the fastest checkmate, and there's only one checkmate in 2 solution. So that was the first problem I had with this one. I couldn't really see anything better than that. The big problem for white is, you know, as soon as he moves some of these other pieces away, he's then opening up his other pieces to some problems. So, for example, I was having a look at what happens after queen takes on d7 here. This looks pretty good. Again, the problem with this is now we've moved this queen away from defense of this bishop, so the king just takes here, and we're just not going to get a checkmate in 2. It doesn't matter what white does. I think it's probably checkmate in 4 or something, but again, we've got a failed solution here. I also thought about, you know, maybe moving like the knight away and just being a bit of a pain, like with the idea of coming here, but you know, unfortunately, as soon as we do this, this now allows the king to run over here, and well, we're just not going to get a checkmate in 2 now. No matter what we do, the king is going to be able to get out of the checkmate in 2. So we have to come up with something truly spectacular. I mean that, really spectacular. And the move and the solution to this particular one is queen to f2. Oh, I love this move. So good. So good. And you probably think to yourself, what's the big idea here? What are we actually doing here? Well, firstly, let's have a look at the knight moves. If this knight moves away anywhere, let's say to any of these 2 squares, because it's only got 2 legal squares, then we just simply deliver checkmate on b6. So just to show you that, if the knight comes here, checkmate on b6. Pretty easy. If the king takes this bishop, which we saw was a bit of an issue in some of the other solutions we were looking at, well, queen can come back to c5. That's checkmate. The pawn guarding this square, and you'll see the knight guarding that square. So very, very nice. Using the fact that the king has had to move to the side of the board, so there's actually less squares that it can go to, which I think is really cool. So that's pretty cool. But let's have a look at the more stingy defences. Firstly, what happens after bishop to c2? Against this, we can actually checkmate very comfortably here with the move. Queen to f5, that's checkmate. Notice that the queen is delivering a checkmate, but is also protecting the bishop. So now the king can't take this bishop here because the queen is defending it. So that's very nice. But what about the final solution? What about the one that we were really struggling with? Why does this... How can we do checkmate now? We're in check. We're in check here. How can we deliver checkmate? And then the solution, and I was then shown the solution, and it was just truly spectacular. We can still play queen to f5 checkmate. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. The point being this. This bishop can't take this queen because it's pinned. We have something known as a cross pin. A cross pin that stops the checkmate. So black cannot simultaneously take this queen and be able to get out of the checkmate. So a truly spectacular puzzle. I really enjoyed that one. I hope you did as well. Just to kind of quickly also show, like stuff like I was looking at, why didn't these moves work? It has to be f2 because it allows you to get in the way of your king and then be able to do the checkmate. I just thought that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you leave a like at the end of this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell, as this will give you updates of any more puzzles that I post on my channel. So do keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.